was a team that, once I did a little research, I knew Coach Bevel was here, knew the head coach, Coach Patricia was here as well, a guy that coached under Bill Belichick. And but one of the main things with Coach Bevel, just having that history with him and, having the opportunity to kind of talk to him a little bit, I felt like it was a great opportunity for me to come in and help contribute to this team and their effort of, being more successful than they were last year. I felt like offensively, they had a great offensive line, obviously amazing, one-of-a-kind quarterback, and some real talented, receivers out wide and tight ends, and defensively as well. I knew they had brought in, a lot of guys and kind of switched things up. So, and then coming to the NFC North as well, so it was a lot of things that I factor in. One of the big things was Coach Bev being here and just really being familiar with his offense and his terminology.
How quickly does that playbook come back to you?
Well, it has definitely advanced from when I was with him in Minnesota, but there's some things that I'm able to pick up on because of the terminology, and but it's coming along well. They've been doing a great job of, Coach Cal, my running back coach, for doing a great job of just keeping me abreast of everything, sending me the information that I need, spending time with me to make sure that I'm up the pace and ready to roll.
All right, we'll go Tim. Next question.
Hey, Adrian, welcome to Detroit. You mentioned the NFC North and the familiarity there. I'm just curious, how much do you remember that first game against Chicago back in 2007? I think you had 361 total scrimmage yards or something crazy. I think it's still top 3 in league history. I heard a rumor that you have that jersey from that game framed. I'm just curious what you remember of that game, and then is it kind of ironic, again, your first game with the new team being an NFC foe and a familiar opponent in Chicago? Yeah,
it is kind of weird, but yeah, that rumor is true. Definitely have that jersey framed up, and I just remember, I do remember my Welcome to the League hit, and it was from Urlacher and Bridge, and they was kind of talking a little trash to me on one play. It was a inside zone play. I tried to bounce it out, and they came down pursuing on me, and laid the wood on me pretty good. Laid the hammer down on me. And I remember just getting up and kind of like smiling and running back to the huddle. But that kind of got me wired up a little bit, because these were guys that, obviously I looked up to and I was excited to play. And I was always excited to play where Walter Payton, the team that he played for, and, just always admired him. But, I just remember having a big game. I think I had like 225 yards that game. I think one of the runs that I remember was outside zone to the left, and I remember just crossing, coming off of, it was either Bernard Berrien or Bobby Wade block, and coming back to the right and coming downfield. I remember Ferguson made a good block, and I think I kind of high stepped into the end zone. Another one that I remember from that game is it was a toss. I think it was a toss. It might have been a zone to the left as well, to the left side of the line of scrimmage. And, I remember just walking down the sideline and scoring, and just remember pointing up to the sky, just giving thanks. And that's a picture that I always see because Bobby was right there and he was kind of like pointing up with me as well. But the number one thing I remember is I was playing special teams, my rookie year. And, I went in because we needed a big play, so I went in on kickoff return and I almost took it to the house. I think I ran for like 60, 65 yards or something like that. But I remember that play the most because we were able to get in field goal position and put ourselves in a position to kick the game-winning field goal, and that pretty much just capped off that day for me.
Pretty impressive, your recollection of those individual plays. That was a little bit of time ago.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dave, next question.
Yeah, Adrian, like the guys before me said, welcome to town. Good to meet you virtually. Staying with the NFC North theme here. how about your favorite memory against the Lions, and what's it like now to play for, a team that was a division rival for, a decade, basically?
Yeah, man. Well, so yeah, I'm excited to be back in the NFC North. I get to play against some familiar foes. I'm gonna be extremely excited to play against the Vikings twice a year. But I think it was 2000. Was it 2000 and was it my last year? 16? No, it might have been 2014. I can't remember the year, but I'll never forget it. We played here in Detroit, and I think I took it like 75 yards on the first play. And I've only done it like 2 or 3 times. I think the other time was against the Texans, but it was preseason, so it was a little different. But I remember that play like it was yesterday. I just don't remember the year, but I remember just hitting the hole, and I did bam one. I stuck my left foot into the ground and got the free safety or the linebacker to overflow, and I was off to the races. And took it to the crib. But I remember just having some great battles against Detroit. They always played us well, and it was always a competitive game. But you get that especially when you're playing your divisional, opponents. So that's kind of like, I guess, one of my memories from playing these guys.
I remember that play too. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, back in June, I think it was, you had said, you expected players to take a knee en masse during the national anthem this week. Do you still expect that? And what do you plan to do personally?
Yeah. I plan on taking a knee, and we got the support of, our coach and everything going forward. But, that has always kind of been my plan.
All right, we'll go Mike.
Yeah, hey Adrian, thanks for doing this. Kind of want to, again, stick with the NFC North thing. I know you said you're excited to play the Vikings twice a year. Was that really part of the motivation, kind of seeing the Vikings, seeing the Bears, seeing the Packers, and then also Washington's on the schedule too, and Arizona's on the schedule? It's kind of like, I guess, a tour of your past in some ways. Was that part of this with picking Detroit?
No, I'm not that salty, It was just a great opportunity, to be honest with you. A great team. I love what Bevel had to say and Coach Patricia. When I evaluated the team, I felt like that I could really contribute and help this team, be successful. So that was ultimately the main thing. And being able to play in the NFC North was a bonus for sure. But the main thing was surrounding myself around, a team where I felt like we can be successful.
And I'm guessing, I don't know if this played into it at all, or maybe it's something you realize after, but you're within somewhat of striking distance of Barry Sanders in all-time rushing yards. The fact that you're now going to be wearing the same jersey that he did, what does that mean to you? Is there some resonance there of, if you have a really good year, you could end up passing him potentially at some point this season?
Yeah, it got brought to my attention like on Monday, and I was like, wow, I didn't, I know it was, somewhat close, but I didn't realize it was just like a little over 1,000 yards, because I wasn't in that mind frame, to be honest with you. But it was kind of ironic, that once that got brought to my attention that, hey, now I'm playing for, Detroit, and, God's willing to stay healthy, I will have the opportunity to break, to pass him, this year. So, man, it's kind of funny how things, works themselves out. Another thing that was kind of odd too, last year, I did like this little short-term deal with Starter, and so I was able to bless a lot of my teammates with Starter jackets and all that. And one of the jackets that I requested was the Beverly Hills jacket, Beverly Hills Lions jacket that Eddie Murphy wore. So they had to search, and they ended up finding it. They found it for me. And so now I got it hanging up in my locker, and, taking it that the weather gets a little cold here, I'll be able to sport that. So, it's been a lot of things I've been kind of thinking about. It's like, man, I never thought when I got that jacket last year, that I'll be standing here, with the Lions behind me, with the Lions shirt on, playing for the Lions. But sometimes your journey, goes on a different path, and for me, I'm just going to make the best of it and do my best to help bring a championship to Detroit.
Thanks, man.
All right, Kyle.
Hey, Adrian. Welcome to Detroit. You had said earlier. You're welcome. You had said earlier that the playbook has progressed since you last saw it. And I'm just curious what that you've seen so far, what's maybe similar to what you had back in the day, and what's changed the most?
What's changed the most? It's definitely more advanced, more diverse. The playbook is, it was just a lot different than, I was there in 2007, I think for like 4 years. So it's been a minute ago, so, obviously he's won a Super Bowl and he's accomplished a lot, as an offensive coordinator through that time. And he has grown as offensive coordinator, so like 85, I would say about 85% of it has changed. And a lot of it just like some of the terminology is the same. So I'm able to understand it. And, some of it is totally different. I think the back is, the way that he's using the back is a lot different than it was back in Minnesota as well, but those are the things that you kind of adjust to, or you switch up, or you add on to the type of system that you want to run as an offensive coordinator, so I would say, just those few things are the things that I've noticed that's different. And here I am just talking about, maybe 80 plays of, the offense that, I'm going over right now, because obviously the main focus is being prepared and ready for, getting ready for this weekend.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You had mentioned Stafford earlier, and I'm just curious what you think of his play. It sounds like you have a pretty high esteem for him, but what do you know about Matthew Stafford? What do you think of his game?
I've always been a fan. I love how he play. The grit he played with, the toughness, great arm, great accuracy, ultimate competitor, and so I've always looked at that and seen that and just, had respect strictly off of that, and I've always heard good things about him too, as far as his personality and how he is as a teammate. So just being around him the few days I've been around him, I can see why those praises were so high. He's blessed. He's blessed. His arm is amazing. His decision making, the way he's able to read the defense and orchestrate the offense. He's an elite player and elite quarterback for a reason, and he's been there for the time he's been there for a reason. So I'm just happy that I have the opportunity to play with a quarterback that season and that has the same mindset as me, and just trying to accomplish the same thing that I've been trying to accomplish going on 14 years now.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we have time for 3 more. Larry, Rod, and then Stacy.
Hey, Adrian. Welcome to the D.
Thank you.
Can you just share your expectations for your playing time this weekend and your thoughts on the guys in the backfield with you in the room?
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like we have some great talent in the backfield. This young guy, Swift, he's been very, impressive. Just watching him, the past couple of days and being able to talk to him. I remember him in college as well. So, he's very talented. Bo, it was a guy that I ended up watching as well. Harry is, is a guy that's kind of, that I like as well. Right now I know the past couple of weeks he had been kind of battling with some stuff, but seeing him out there grinding and working as well and seeing what he brings to the offense has been impressive. So I'm excited about our group as a whole and what we're able to, what we're going to be able to do as a group to help this team be successful. And as far as
Lions told you you'd start. Is that how much do you think you'll play? I read somewhere that the Lions told you would start or could start or would. Is that true? And how much do you expect to play this weekend?
Yeah, I didn't hear all that. I've been too focused on trying to learn plays, and it's been rough. Even though I had my time with Bev, coming from Washington and learning a totally new offense, and then bam, trying to cram so much in within 2 days now, 2 or 3 days. It's been a whirlwind for me, so there's a lot of things that I'm still learning. I'm investing the time because obviously, when I got signed, I wasn't thinking about not playing, this weekend. So, we'll see how things go.
All right, Rod.
Adrian, like everyone else, welcome to Detroit.
Thank you.
But just wanted to ask you about in your time in playing against the Lions. Certainly, you've seen the struggles that they've had. What's your confidence level with being able to turn things around with Stafford, with the rest of the pieces they have on offense, and make this a playoff year potentially?
Well, my confidence is there. Like I said earlier, I feel like we have all the right pieces in play. You think about this even last year, and you look at some of those scores. Outside of, I don't know if the Vikings beat them 2 touchdowns both games, but you think about some of those games, with the third string quarterback, they were in the hunt. They lost some games by 7 points here, 3 points there, 10 points, and you're talking about with a third string quarterback. So that goes to show that, you got a group of guys that no matter what that adversity is, they're going to continue to compete. They're going to continue to fight. And and try to win games. So having guys healthy now, and the young guy they brought in, Swift, I think he's going to be something special. He just got to continue to work, and I'm gonna do my part as far as making sure he stays on the straight and narrow, and he's doing the right things. And I really feel like I bring a lot to the table as well. So once we get to rolling, I think we can roll and we can do something special.
Appreciate it.
All right, Stacey, last question.
Hey, Adrian, congratulations. Boomer Sooner. I, in honor of you, put my hat on.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah. So my question for you is, coaches are responsible so often for defining roles for their players. What are the Lions asking you to do, and how have they explained what your role will be within this offense?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're asking me to do a lot. I don't think we have really locked in exactly. But what the obvious thing is, what I've done for 14 years is, run the ball well. Catch the ball when I have the opportunity, pick up blocks. But I don't think right now it's safe to answer that question, is to see what exactly my role will be, outside of the obvious of me being able to contribute in the, in the run game and, in the pass game, play football, basically. Get out there and play football, but I think all that will come with, with me learning the offense and being comfortable within the offense and, making sure that I'm on the same page, because the thing you don't want is a player to be out there uncertain. That's when things kind of go bad, So, I'm here to do whatever they ask me to do, wherever they, give me the opportunity to do. I'm going to take advantage of it and make the best out of it.
All right. Thanks, AD. Thanks, guys. We'll have TJ Hockenson.
Thanks, Adrian.
All right. Thank you all.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now, TJ.
All right. We'll go to Mike and we'll come back to Justin. Mike, go ahead.
No, I'm going to actually ask what I think Justin was going to ask, which is that your parents have been to almost every game, and what's it going to be like to not have them there this weekend?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, my parents, they've came to every game. They're going to be here this weekend. They're coming up, doing their own, staying with the routine. They're hoping after, I think I heard the fourth game that maybe guys can come, but they're doing the same routine. They're going to come up here and hang out and kind of do the whole thing and watch the game at my house. So it's always nice to be around family on game day. Kind of makes it feel a little more like a game. Makes it a little more family oriented, I guess I would say. So my parents have gone above and beyond of what I would have ever asked of them, and so it's going to be definitely a different aspect, but it's going to be cool to have them up here. So,
and for you, around this time last year, you had a massive game as an opener. What do you think you've learned about yourself from that point a year ago to now, with everything that you've been through?
I think it doesn't really matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't really matter what you did an hour ago, what you did a year ago, but what you're doing now. I think in that aspect, I've tried to learn from that, and you're always trying to prove something. Whether it's good or bad. You're trying to go out there and do your job and keep proving yourself. I think that it doesn't matter what round you went in, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter anything. So, I think that's kind of one thing I've tried to implement.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll go Ben.
Hey, what's up, TJ? We had Jesse on here the other day, and he was talking about a conversation he had with Bev over the summer about getting you guys involved more, and just kind of wanted to wonder what that means to kind of have your coach looking out for you coming into the season, saying, we want to get you involved here no matter what. I want to do a better job of that. What's that mean to you coming into your second year?
Yeah, it's a cool aspect. We still need to do our job. It doesn't really, they can try to get us the ball as much as we want, but we still got to get open. I think that's the biggest thing is we got to do our job. We got to focus on what we can control. And Bev's awesome. Staff's awesome, all those guys. But I think what we're focused on and what our tight end group is focused on is kind of doing our job, given what we're given. It doesn't really matter if we're, number one in the game plan, number two, number three, it doesn't really matter. We got to do our job of what's asked of us this play and figure that out from there,
The last time we talked to you, you said you were kind of working through some mental aspects of the ankle. Just wondering where you're at with that going into Sunday.
It's 100%.
All right, guys, anything else?
Good stuff. Appreciate y'all.
I can't.
All right, we're going to go Larry first. Justin, please type your question in the chat.
Question about the defense. Obviously, they made a bunch of changes, including adding yourself. Just your thoughts on this defense that statistically was one of the worst, and I'm sure you're expecting that not to be the case this year. Just your thoughts going into week one on this defense you're a part of.
Well, I think Coach Patricia put a great defense together this year. We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. And his defense is a great mix of everything. So that really complement the guys that he brought in. So yeah, definitely we want to change that this year. We know the past, we know what the lines were last year, but we're here to change that this year.
All right, Dave.
Nick, I'm sorry, I'm speaking without video here, driving the kids home from school. But
Dave.
But I just want to ask about playing against your old team. I don't know, do you have any special feelings about going against these guys this week, and how much can you help your current team with personnel or scheme or anything?
Yeah. I mean, we've had those talks. We've had those talks whether with Bevel or Coach Underlin. We had those talks. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at it as another business trip. We're playing at home, but I'm looking at it, it's just business. So it's just a football game. I'm going to go out there and put my best football on the field.
And do you have any, again, this is a team that you sort of had your breakout year for last year. As much as it's a business trip, do you have any special feelings inside about seeing this team and some of these guys again?
Yeah, I mean, I bonded with a lot of those guys there in Chicago, and they know that at the end of the day, it's a business. You know, guys change teams. There's a lot of turnover in this league at the end of the day. So they know I'm going to come out there and put my best football on the field, and they're going to do the same. And we'll just go from there.
Tony?
Yeah, Nick, Trubisky has been mocked a little bit nationally. He obviously has had success against the Lions. What's he like as a teammate, and do you think the criticism of him has been unfair?
Goodness gracious. I think at the end of the day, you know, Trubisky is a good quarterback. You know, he's a good quarterback. He's a good up and coming talent. I think he's up and coming talent wise. You know, he just has to put all the pieces together. You know, at the end of the day, people want you to be a certain player when they want you to be it. I mean, look at me. You know, I just had a breakout year last year in year 7. So at the end of the day, I think it's just up to the player to really put in his mind that he believes in himself and knows the type of player that he can be, and put it all together and just go out there and play.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Anything else? All right. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much.